everyone, welcome back to our challenge number 8. I am Clary and I've been with you for those fantastic 2 weeks of Illustrator daily creative challenges. I'm gonna get started very fast today because I really want to make sure that we go through this amazing challenge today, which is 3D elements. Let me know in the chat if you've been using 3D elements before in Illustrator or if it's gonna be a new adventure for you. I can see Natasha, I can see Jen, I can see Austin, Kashal, Colby, PM, Carrie, Malik, Steve. Come sta? Bene. Thank you, Steve. I love that you're also learning some Italian here. That's very, very fun. I can see Wade, Carol, Jesus, Angie. Thank you so much for joining me and follow through those amazing challenges. If this is your first day, don't worry. I'm going to show you how to join real quick. I can see you, Askia. Hi. You're doing one of the challenges. You're catching up. Perfect. I look forward to see it on Discord. But let me show you how to join the challenge for those of you who are here for the first time. So I'm going to jump into my screen real quick and you can see that this is our fantastic landing page. And in order to join the challenge, make sure to click on the big blue button here where it says take the challenge. Of course, I'm doing the challenge with you and I'm taking the challenge, but if this is your first day, don't worry, you can start from today and then catch up during the weekend or in your own time. This is your time to sharpen your techniques and learn more skills in Adobe Illustrator. So in order to get started, once you click on the big blue button, you're going to start receive emails that will remind you of the daily challenges, and you'll be prompted to check the new card that as unveiled. As I mentioned today, we're going to be talking about 3D elements in Illustrator, and all you have to do to see previous challenges is to click on the watch video. But while I'm chatting here and catching up for everyone who's here for the first time, make sure to download the started file by clicking here on get started in order to follow along and play with me on Illustrator during these 30 minutes of Daily Creative Challenge. Also, don't forget to subscribe because tomorrow, unfortunately, is going to be my last day with you. But there are more challenges coming. In fact, from Monday, we're going to have Andrew, and I'm sure it's gonna be a blast in Illustrator. So remember, from Monday we're gonna have another Illustrator Daily Creative Challenge running. And Gregory, you need clarity on a daily basis? Well, hopefully we're gonna work towards something that allow me to be more here with you. But someone told me, a little bird told me that Adobe Angels have heard that you wanna spend more time with me in Illustrator. So I can tell you that it's not gonna be every day, but there is definitely a little treat coming for you. So keep your eyes on the Adobe Live page and of course on my social media at I am Clary. But let me remind you real quick, if this is your very first time with Illustrator, you can download the app by clicking on download Illustrator here on the landing page and access the free trial. Now, the second part of the challenges, besides, of course, watching the video and doing the challenges, is to join the community. I can recognize so many of you. Arefa, nice to see you. I was actually thinking of you because I speak with you quite a lot on Discord and with all of you that share your work. I want to, clap my hand and say, well done for sharing. I know you need to be brave. I know sometimes you even haven't finished your work, but you blow my mind. You inspire me, and I'm always there to give you some help. I know that some of you had the same issue that I had with losing the bounding box, so I'm always here to give you any tips about the challenge, but of course about the panels and the workspace as well. So just real quick, in order to submit the challenge, I'm gonna fly to the other side of the screen and I want to show you that the channel that you have to use in order to submit and share your work is here where it says feedback, is the channel that is called challenge here on Discord. And I'm gonna zoom in as usual so you make sure that you hit the right channel, and once you click there, click on the plus sign in order to submit your work. Now I want to remind you, as I can see in the chat, that we're running a survey, so make sure to keep your eyes peeled in the chat on YouTube or on Behance and let us know a little bit more. We're really curious to have more information about your experience here at Adobe Live during the DCC. So make sure to click and have a look right now on the chat to fill in the survey. It takes like literally less than a minute, so 30 seconds, I guess. So make sure that you get that done and keep following here the channel, the challenge. So let's get started. Hopefully by now you have downloaded the file. The file looks something like that, and I'm gonna repeat it real quick for those of you who have just tuned in. You can find the starter file and a bunch of user information about the challenge on our fantabulous landing page that is called behance.net/challenge/illustrator. That's it. Over here is the link, and once you're gonna scroll up to the correct challenge, this case is 3D, you'll be able to click on get started, and you'll have this amazing folder that contains your starter file. Today, no mood board, we're gonna play with some 3D shapes. And I heard I was reading before PM never used 3D before, but I'm looking to know more about you and if you ever used the 3D before. I'm quite new with it. I'm starting to play. Hopefully we're gonna have enough time also to show you how to stretch the challenges even more and how to use the 3D shapes. And Emmer say not seeing the surveys. Try to scroll a little bit up. I am sure I've seen it in the chat, so just scroll up. Jennifer, don't worry. You know that I always take a second waiting for all of you to join. This is the file to download. Make sure to head on the landing page and get started if you want to follow through with me. Perfect. I'm gonna jump in Illustrator and start to have a play. So while you open your file, I just want to share quick info with you about the 3D object that we're going to be using today. So that 3D effect is going to help us to create a 3D shape using the revolve appearance effect that we're going to explore in a second. And as you will see, you'll be able to create and render 3D shapes using 2D shape, and also we're going to map some graphics into it, and those are the graphics that you see in your starter file. By the way, I can see the link again in the chat. Wade is sharing it again. Thank you so much. I'm glad that Emmer you find it. Matt, excited for the 3D. Very, very good. If you are following us on YouTube and you want to, perhaps you're asking me a question, make sure to add on behance.net/live so I can reply to you directly. Perfect. I can see the chat is nice and lively. Hi, Jen. Perfect. Hi, Wilder. Nice to see you. Wilder works with Adobe Latin America. I've done a few webinar with him. Thank you so much for joining me. It's always a pleasure to have you here. But let's get started. So we're gonna start first by creating a bagel shape with a hole in the middle, and then we're gonna move to a sphere. And let's get started. In order to create the bagel, I'm gonna go and head into my rectangle tool and hold in order to reveal other shapes. In fact, I'm looking in particular to the ellipse tool. You can also trigger the ellipse tool by pressing the key L on your keyboard, and then I'm gonna click and drag into my artboard by holding shift to make sure that the ellipse has a perfect circular shape. Once I'm happy with the size of my sphere, I can let go and release, and then I can either go here to my little swatches in order to change the color of the fill, for example to red, or you can always add in your properties panel, and in this case I'm going to use it to remove the stroke and bring it up to none. And as you can see, the point of the stroke disappears because we do not have any stroke. Now, making sure that we have our sphere selected, we have two ways to access the revolve effect. We can either use our appearance panel. I'm going to drag it here so we can have a better look, and if you do not find it into your workspace, make sure to add in window, and appearance is going to be right here at the top with our shape selected. Again, we can either use the appearance panel, or we can go in effect and use 3D, and the actual panel that we're looking for is revolve. Again, I'm going to show you how to do it from the window menu here, revolve, or you can use the appearance panel. Here there is a little FX that is showing us that we can access the FX and the appearance, and we have 3D and revolve. Perfect. Now, I've been using this before, so it already started to look like a bagel, and it's on the off axis front. That's the one that we want, even if we're gonna start to custom rotate it, because at the moment the bezel is in the middle because that's the top of the sphere that is rotating, but I really want to make sure that we see that bezel. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start play with the rotation here to make sure that we bring and we give it an angle that shows our little center of the bezel, and to make sure that we make the hole a little bit larger so it's a little bit more visible. We can perhaps create more graphics and play with them. All we have to do is to go on offset. I'm gonna zoom in here, and we are gonna bring the offset up quite a bunch. I'm using 551 for now. As you can see, we definitely have our bezel with the hole in the middle here. And you can also keep revolving your shape until you have, I think that's quite nice. And I'm gonna press OK for now, just so we have a look at our 3D object. That easy. Now it's looking quite big. If you want to make it a little bit smaller, all you have to do is to go into our bounding box, Alt Shift to make sure that we have our proportion constrained, and we're gonna just resize it a little bit more. As you can see, of course, the sphere is smaller, so we change the offset. If you're not happy and perhaps want to change the offset, all you have to do is click again in our effect panel under appearance and go ahead to the offset, and we can reduce it a little bit. So we have a nice fluffy bezel here, and I'm gonna press OK. Now I spoke about applying graphics, so let's get started with this funky graphic that I created here. How to use a graphic in order to map it into a 3D object? Very simple. We're gonna use our symbol panel. Mine is down here at the very bottom, but in order to find it, don't forget window and symbol is right here at the bottom. All you have to do is to click on the graphic that you prefer and simply drag it in the symbol, and we can call it pink drop. Make sure that it's a dynamic symbol, and we press OK. Once we're done and we created our first symbol, I'm gonna also drag a second one just to make sure that we have a little bit of variety. I'm gonna use those little stripes over here, and I'm gonna drag it in, and I'm gonna call these stripes, and I'm gonna press OK. And as you can see in our symbol here, let's see if we can make a little bit of a larger list. Oops. I can expand it here a little bit. Didn't go as large as I wanted. Perhaps I should simply zoom in here so you can see that we have added our two graphics in our symbol panel. Now, in order to apply and map it in the 3D object, let's go and select our object and make sure that we go in the appearance panel, and we're looking for the 3D revolve effect that we've applied. So just click once in order to open it, and we click here. You guessed it, map art is the right place to go. So once we open the 3D revolve option window, click on map art to start to introduce the symbol. And as you can see, you already has here a prompt where allows you to choose one of your symbol. And because we've been very nice and we already put the symbol in, it's gonna be very easy just to select the one that you prefer. And as you can see, it's quite small compared to the long path. So I'm just gonna click on scale to fit to expand it. And if you want, you can stretch it also a little bit over. Oops. It's a little bit temperamental, so make sure that you click once in order to select the bounding box, and then click again to fix it. Otherwise, it's gonna keep moving, as you can see here. So click once and click once again. And this is gonna allow you to have a little bit more of movement. You can also expand it a little bit more or a little bit less as you prefer. All you have to make sure is that you really cover the entire graph of the mapping of the symbol. And then I'm gonna click in invisible geometry, which is gonna hide our color behind, and I'm gonna press OK, and I'm gonna press OK again, and that's our first shape with our pattern applied. Then I'm gonna press Option and copy it in order to apply the stripes and see what happens there, because as you can see here we have a full graphic with a background and a color on top, while with the stripe we only have some black stripe, and I'm gonna bring it in so it's empty on another side. So let's see how we can use this feature in 3D. I'm gonna click on the second shape and again click on revolve and map in order to edit. How beautiful it is that it stays editable. I think it's fantastic. So you can keep playing until you are happy with it. And of course you can change rotation, you can still change the offset. But as usual, I don't have time and I want to show you more, so I'm gonna keep it like that. But feel free to have a play and create different shapes in your own time. I'm gonna click into map art, and from our symbol drop down, I'm gonna select our stripes. As you can see, again, the stripes are a little bit smaller than our shape. So all we have to do is go here, click on scale to fit, exactly like I've done before, and it will stretch the stripe. And because there are only black stripes and there is no white, it's gonna give us this fantastic effect, showing us the 3D, the full 3D. And I'm gonna click on invisible geometry, and as you can see, once it's unclicked, it's much easier for you to see here that is going to show the initial color of our geometry, of our shape. I don't want it because I'm really looking forward to this transparency. So I'm going to click in order to make that invisible here. And I'm going to press OK. And I'm going to press OK again. Now, I strongly suggest you to leave that. I always like to make copy. If you want to work within the same shape, completely up to you, that's fine. But I'm gonna make a copy just because I enjoy to leave my option open. So with our sphere selected, I'm gonna click on option and drag to create a copy. Then I'm gonna go in object and expand appearances, and object and expand again to make sure that it's fully expanded, and click Shift Command G to ungroup, or you can also ungroup by going in object and ungroup. There are many different groups because there are many different shapes, so I'll suggest you to click that a few times to make sure that you have fully ungrouped all the areas of our 3D render. Then I'm gonna zoom in, and this is gonna be a little bit tricky. I'm gonna press Command Y to show you the different line that compose our shape. I was actually reading the chat, that's why I kind of froze, and I can see Arefa saying that, whew, the stripes are awesome. Well, it's gonna get even more awesome. Donuts with some icing. Yeah, you're making me hungry. It's about 8 in the evening here. I haven't dinner yet. So I'm glad to see that you guys are enjoying this. Stacy is asking if I have to drop this transparency. Oh, it's actually replying to Jennifer. Let's see if I can get Jennifer's question real quick and perhaps answer. Jennifer, I cannot find your question. If you want me to read it, make sure that you post it again. So I'm just gonna press Command Y to erase it. Sorry, to go back from our outline in our normal view. So this is not erasing anything, it's just going in outline mode, Command Y, and going back. Time is running so fast. All I'm gonna do now, as you can see, is to try to find one side of the bagel, and once you click and delete the first area, it's gonna be much easier to understand which other elements you have to delete. As you can see, it looks a little bit messy in the beginning, but then is that easy once you delete the first one. Also, something else, if you want to change the color, at the moment there are still more groups, so really suggest you to go and double click anywhere where you can see a line. So for example, here when you hover with your mouse, it's going to show you all the different compact paths in order to be able to create a unified shape, and perhaps use our pathfinder. Go over and select. Looks like there is one more here, and it's easy because those are the only shape that you can actually detect in the place where we don't have any stripes. So that's the only time that you can see a path. Looks like there is one more here. Here it is. I'm just gonna double click to make sure to erase it, and I'm doing that just because I want to make sure that then now I can go in my pathfinder panel and click on unite to have one unique shape. And as you can see, we can change it color, or we can apply gradients here. And as you can see, by clicking on gradient, we can click on the 3 dots and of course change the colors of our gradient. Now I'm going very fast because I want to show you also how to create a sphere. Literally 3 minutes, so I hope you can play and have a little bit more of an experience with the gradient and with the color, with your shape, with your donuts. And I'm going to show you how to create a 3D sphere, because in this case we are not going to start from a sphere. Actually we are, but let me show you real quick. So I'm still going to go from the ellipse tool Alt Shift in order to create my sphere. I'm just gonna make a solid color just to make it a little bit faster. I'm gonna press A, which is gonna give me my direct selection tool, our beautiful white arrow, and click on this right anchor point. As you can see, is gonna get selected in white, and click delete in order to delete it. Then I'm gonna click and select on the top anchor point, Alt Shift, and also select the bottom anchor point and press Command J to join them. And now we have an half circle. And this is the 2D shape to use in order to create a sphere. Let's see. Let's go back into our effects, 3D, revolve, and now is creating this shape because he's revolving using the round side of our circle. So in order to make sure that we use the middle, it revolves from the middle, we need to go here where it says left edge. So that was the circle, and make sure that it's right edge. Of course, this is the case just because I have split the circle and deleted the right side. If you delete the left anchor, if you delete the left anchor point, you're gonna have to go with the left edge. Real quick, we're gonna go into map part and choose one of the graphics that we used before, scale to fit, and perhaps move it a little bit around, and press OK, and we can change the rotation to really use and choose the best way to show our pattern here. And I'm gonna click OK, and here it is. And you can actually start to play and create some fun with those shapes. I'm glad that I got to show you both, because unfortunately it's almost time to go. I realized I didn't even run through the schedule, so I really have to do that right now. I look forward to see how to use the graphic that I shown. Make sure to change color. Always busy here, starting 7:30 with getting started in After Effects with Evan Abrams, then the Photoshop Daily Creative Challenge with Paul Trani, followed by Motion Graphic with Colton Cooker, hosted by the lovely Paco, and now Illustrator Daily Creative Challenge already gone. I can't believe it. And it's gonna be followed by Packaging Design with Jeremy, and Adobe XD Daily Creative Challenge with Aaron Pinsky coming, and after it's gonna be Draw Along with Kyle Webster, followed by another amazing design off with Voodoo Val and Too Senseless. Those Adobe Day are fantastic. Adobe Live, make sure that we are always in beautiful company. And make sure to add in Discord to join the community, chat with me, share your work on the feedback channel so we can stay up to date and we can keep each other company, because this is the beauty of having this amazing community here on Adobe Live. You guys always keep me company. I'm always there for you to share a chat. We really make this lockdown much fun and much more creative with this beautiful schedule. I hope you had fun today. Unfortunately, it's time to say goodbye, and tomorrow is gonna be our last challenge together. I thank you so much for having shared your time with me. I hope you had a blast. I had so much fun, and I'm always learning a lot, and it's always nice to see you here. So make sure to join me tomorrow for our very last, for now, Adobe Illustrator Daily Creative Challenge together. Bye everyone, have a wonderful creative day, and stay tuned for more graphic design here. Bye!